Peace, love, and light. Welcome to the existence changing experience that is the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness. And I am your guide, the pastor, the founder here, Pastor Oscar L. Walker Jr. Certainly, we give all praise to the Most High, to the Creator of all, for blessing us to make it through another week of blessings and provision that we have experienced, and miracles as always, because we are aligned with the uh, energy and power of the universe. Okay. And miracles are an excellent and constant part of our life. And certainly we give all praise and honor to the creator of all for the blessings of the uh, inspirational ministry, and for those that are the new subscribers and followers, and certainly for those that join us on here on Zoom, and for those that view the videos after Zoom. I just humbly ask that if you're viewing this video, and if this video and the videos on my channel are a blessing to you, to please like, share, and subscribe. Partake in the miracles that are going on as a result of the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness. And I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm happy about all that this information and knowledge that is coming down, and for the results of adhering to this knowledge. And I'm certainly grateful for you that are viewing. And I pray that the information and the word that is coming through this ministry, through this work, is a benefit to your life. Okay, well, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and pray in and get back started with a lesser topic on the alignment. This is a part two. uh, so we're going to pick it up, but we will be finishing it today. Let us pray. Creator of all, we give our honor and esteem to you. We thank you. We're grateful for another opportunity to come together in fellowship in the word, for revelation and higher consciousness knowledge. We're certainly grateful for every blessing. First off, for the life spark, the privilege of life that we have received from you, the connection with you and all things that you have created. We're certainly grateful for preservation, for our spirit guides, the angels, the ancestors, the universal energies, heavenly energies, as we would say. Certainly, we are grateful for every gift, or every blessed gift that comes from you. We humble ourselves and confess that we have no sin, and for any transgressions that we've committed against the universal law or divine law, we humble ourselves and repent, that we may be aligned, that we may elevate, that we may be exalted in due season as it is given for us to be exalted. I humbly ask that you will think through my mind and speak through my mouth those things which are beneficial for the edification of those listening. We give our honor and praise always. And I speak this in the name of the divine, that it will come before the throne of the Almighty, of the Creator of all, of the Most High. So be it. Again, welcome to the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness, where our motto is the existence changing experience. And I believe that your existence is being changed every week that you review these videos, and every week that you implement the knowledge, because the whole purpose is to bring you out of the restraints of the past and bring you into a higher level of consciousness, so that your life, you can create a better life on this earth and ascend out of this realm of this dimension. We started with the alignment out of Habakkuk, the second chapter, verses 2 through 3. And we went over the purpose of writing the vision, because it says to write the vision. We're going to read it in a second. We went over what it meant to write the vision, why we should write the vision, and what does it mean to be in alignment. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and read, for those of you that have your Bibles, have your scriptures, okay, your cell phones, your iPads, okay, your smartphones, or whatever, iPhones, your laptops, books, your Bibles, all that stuff. And I'll say it again. Go with me to Habakkuk. Okay. The second chapter, verses 2 through 3. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. This is a very important scripture in regards to how we conduct ourselves psychologically and in our thought process, in our thought man, in our spirit man. Because regardless of the vision that you have, now, I know a lot of people like to say, oh, the Most High gave me a vision. And it said we will be located in this region and we will spread abroad. But I have a problem with a person that say they received a vision from the Most High, but yet they have not fulfilled the vision. It has not come to pass. It said, wait for it, and though it tarry, wait for it, it shall surely come to pass. But the problem is, it should come to pass. And if it has not come to pass in 10, 15, 20 years, 25 years, I question the fact whether that vision came from the Most High or whether you were aligned to fulfill it. Because you can have negative thoughts in your life, okay, that will create a stronghold in your mind that will produce a vision in you. And even if you don't write it down on paper, even if you don't type it up, you send that frequency into the universe, okay? And we're gonna hit on a little bit of that, but you send that frequency out and you project that and produce that manifestation, whether positive or negative. You will align either way. But the key is to align properly, knowing, okay, especially for the good things that you desire for your life. Again, I quote what I quoted last week. Yahweh, Jesus said this: whatsoever things that you desire when you pray, believe that you have received them and you shall what? Have them. Well, part of that, you shall have them comes from you aligning with the belief aspect first. Because from the belief aspect, okay, it will make you develop the relationships, develop the plans, put into action the things that you believe so that it can come to pass in your life. And that's the purpose of this lesson, is to teach us about why is it important to align with what you're desiring, okay? Because it's not enough to just say what you're doing. You got to put action. James said, show me thy faith without works, and I'll show you my faith by my works. Whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe. Show you my faith by my works. So you have to align yourself for that vision to come to pass. Whether it's to get an education, whether it's to gain information, whether it's to get a mentor, whatever it takes to get that vision into fruition, okay, because it said that they may run with it that read it. Well, those that are running are the ones that are putting into action or aligning themselves for the vision. Vision just ain't gonna come to pass by itself. So, those of you, if this is your first time seeing this video on my channel, go back to last week to part 1, and it'll break down all of the definitions. So I'm going to pick back up today with where I left off and said I was going to pick up with this week. Because we were talking about, the last thing we were talking about, what is for an appointed time, because we were talking about the appointed time that vision shall come to pass. That appointed time basically is dependent upon how much preparation, how much belief, how much you do your part in the vision coming to pass. And whether you align yourself for the opportunities that come with that. Just like I talked about Les Brown last week, with him beginning as a gopher, learning how to, watching the DJs, okay, because he wanted to be a DJ. He was watching the DJs, learn how to spin records and stuff. And then when the opportunity presented itself, he was prepared. And his famous quote is, it's better to be prepared and not have an opportunity than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Because if you're not prepared for the opportunity when the universe yields it to you, you just wasted time and energy. Because it's a shame for the opportunity to present itself and then you're not ready to dive in. Because when it presents itself, that's the appointed time for the vision to come to pass. Now, I'd have missed it because I wasn't ready. Goes back to the parable of the 5 wise and 5 foolish virgins. The 5 wise knew that the opportunity for the bridegroom was coming. They just didn't know when he was going to come. But they trimmed their lamps and they had extra oil just in case the oil got low. But the 5 foolish, they took it for granted that he was coming. And they were unprepared for the opportunity to present itself. So when the bridegroom came, he found the 5 with the lamps lit, and said, "Come on in," and took him into his bridegroom's chamber, a bride chamber. Okay, but the 5 foolish got left out. Why? Because they weren't prepared for the opportunity when it presented itself. It's about aligning. They aligned. The 5 wise aligned with the information and knowledge, okay, and the hope and the vision of the bridegroom picking them. They saw him picking them, and they wanted to make sure they didn't leave nothing to chance of missing him picking them. But the 5 foolish weren't likewise, which is why they got left behind. And you can get left behind in your life because you didn't prepare yourself. Knowledge-wise, information-wise, skill-wise, availability, whatever it is, however you're supposed to present yourself when an auspicious opportunity comes to you, to take advantage of it. So we're going to go into a more detailed breakdown and meaning of what is the appointed time. Okay, but I'm going to go back and touch on that first. What is for an appointed time? The metaphysical meaning of appointed time generally refers to a predetermined or divinely ordained time for events to occur, often with a sense of purpose or significance. It suggests that things happen not randomly, but according to a specific plan or timeline, often in relation to a higher power or spiritual order. This concept can be found in various religions and philosophical traditions, emphasizing the importance of timing and the interconnectedness of events. Well, those of you that will lay hold on the knowledge and accept it, you prepared the plan for your life before coming to this earth. You sat down with all the higher beings, okay, that you made a soul contract with to come to this earth. You went through the veil of forgetfulness, forgot all the foreknowledge that you had so that you can walk the plan out. But your spirit guides, okay, and the angels and your ancestors, all of them that exist, they come together to help you on the way. They throw you the breadcrumbs to give you the inspirations to whisper in your spirit, go this way. God, is that you? It's your higher self saying, hey, this is the way we need to go. So when things are happening in your life and you get an inspiration to redirect and all of that kind of stuff, or your eyes are open to a particular thing, it's in the plan. It's in the vision for your life. Okay. But it is divine because it came from the spirit realm where you started. And whatever your purpose is in incarnating in this life, whatever lessons you had to learn, whatever karma you had to work off, or whatever, for whatever reason you chose, whether it's to come here to help other people get out of here, it's all in divine timing according to the plan. But you have to align yourself bit by bit, piece by piece, as inspiration comes to you and insight to line up with the vision for your life so they can come together. But you get to create an earthly vision because you have to survive while you're here. You have to live, and you want to live as comfortably as you can. So you have to develop a part 2 plan or plan B so that you can have the things in life that you need and desire, and especially in order to achieve your soul mission on this earth. Okay, so let's go into this detailed breakdown of time, because it talked about predetermined and divinely ordered time and all that kind of stuff. Now, the predetermined time. Appointed time suggests that events are not accidental, but have a preset moment of occurrence to include the people that you experience in your life. You have had a soul contract or a contract with them or an agreement with them in the spirit realm or in previous lives, okay, in order to fulfill a mission for them to come into your life for whatever particular reason, to help you learn, grow, or whatever, okay, and you them, for a particular reason. It's not happenstance. It's not coincidental. It's all in the vision, okay? Divine or natural order often implies a higher power or natural order that guides events and their timing. Now, everybody want to say God governs the time. It's God's time. God orchestrated the predetermined. I got a problem with that. So you mean to tell me that God ordained for innocent children to be raped and women to be raped, and for people to starve and to be destroyed and killed by evil men? You mean to tell me that was God's orchestrated plan for their life? Then how is he just and fair to condemn a person, okay, a being that had no knowledge, okay, beforehand, to go through the traumas that they go through? Why would he put them through those traumas? What's righteous about that? Okay, now the person, because there are two types of beings on this earth. Okay, we're gonna go into that one day. Some from the spirit realm, the realm beyond. And then there are other beings, because we live in a simulation, whether you want to believe it or not. So all beings are not living beings. Okay. So some of those beings that lose their lives may be non-living beings per se, or part of the program. But that's for another time. But you mean to tell me that the God that you serve will let all these atrocities? Now, I know that in the Old Testament, he killed a lot of people, a lot of innocent people. A lot of innocent people lost their lives over some BS, especially that time when King David numbered the people. You mad because I numbered the people? Wait a minute. You mad because I did a census to know how many people I got under me? So now you going to come and kill some? Yeah. He told David, choose three things that should happen to you. 3 months of being slaved by your enemies. 3 years of being saved, a famine, I think it was. 3 months of being slain by your enemies, or 3 days of the sword of the Lord. And he chose the 3 days because he believed in the mercy of the Lord. Well, what was the mercy of the Lord when all the people was getting slain by the angel? That those people didn't do nothing to achieve, to deserve that. So you have to start seeing your life and life's events as predetermined events that you chose before incarnating here. That way you can intelligently navigate yourself around and through and past and beyond those events and learn the lessons that need to be learned. Grow where you need to grow. Okay. Now, significance and purpose. The concept of significance and purpose suggests that these appointed times carry importance and are part of a larger purposeful plan for your soul to experience what it needs to experience in this life, according to the plans that was set forth in the spirit realm, to learn whatever lessons, to achieve whatever accomplishments, to help free whoever that needs to be freed for whatever purpose it was. But it's up to you to go within and to fast and meditate and to pray to find out your soul mission and the purpose for your life. You're not going through these struggles and trials and challenges and all this stuff for nothing. I hope you're not. But you need to gain an understanding of why you're going through what you're going through and what's going on, so that you can effectively navigate life, so you can effectively align yourself for victory. Waiting and trust, because you got to wait on it. He said to wait on it. Though it tarry, wait on it. In the Greek, apekdekame, which means to eagerly expect. Okay? Appointed time can also relate to a need to wait patiently for events to unfold according to their intended timing, trusting in the greater plan. Because anyone, okay, let's go into the business world. Sometimes companies come up with a product, okay, after they design the product according to their vision, or whoever created it, they got to manufacture it. They got to get it approved depending on what the product is. Then they have to get a marketing plan together to market it. And they have to decide on how much it's going to cost. They have to get the necessary stores and businesses to want to buy there, to see the need. Okay, first off, for the public to see the need for the product, then those businesses to see the need of the product, okay, and those businesses to purchase the product from them and sell it to the public. But there's a waiting process in all of that. That's why you set deadlines for your goals or deadlines for implementation. The same thing with your life. When you have a vision for your life, there are deadlines for your life. Some you set here on earth, but most set in the spirit realm before you came here. But as you begin to be awakened and understand your purpose for your life, and as you begin to get the downloads and the unctions in your spirit to make certain moves, now you're going according to it, but you're still waiting and trusting for the fulfillment of the vision for your life. Okay? Prophetic fulfillment. Some contexts, in some contexts, it can refer to the fulfillment of prophecies or predictions that have been set for a specific future time. Now, I know the Bible is full of where it said that Yahweh, God, told the nation of Israel that these things were going to be and were going to come to pass. I get it. But you can't rule out, okay, the influence of the people that established religion, that wrote the book that you're reading. They have the means to bring those things to pass. But see, not only that, if you get enough people believing the same thing according to their subconsciousness, they will bring to pass those things because they believe it so much. That's why Yahweh, Jesus said, whatsoever things you desire when you pray, believe that you have received them and what you shall have them. There's a such thing as corporate belief. And you can bring things corporately into being by believing with everybody else. Why else do you think the powers that be put a lot of violence before you, a lot of entertainment to keep you distracted? They put a lot of horrible news in front of you, so everybody's thinking, oh, the world is in it because all of this stuff is happening. Or look at all the dangers and the look at all the dangers and all of the murders and all of this stuff that's going on. Hey, baby. Because prophetic fulfillment goes according to your belief. That's why people are always screaming, oh, these are the last days. And they always go to that scripture where Yahweh, Jesus said that even when all of these things that happen, the end should not be yet. But everybody want to holler, these are the last days, or it's the end times. And we're a long way from any end time. Okay, the next point under the alignment. I mean, not alignment, appointed time. Seasonality and cycles. The concept of appointed times can be linked to the idea that life flows or follows a cyclical pattern of seasons and events, each with its own designated time. Now, I can agree with that because sometimes people have certain cycles in their life that they repeat because they didn't learn the lesson that they should have learned the first time, or they didn't step out on faith and do what they should have did, or they didn't achieve what they should have achieved the first time. So there are times when you got to go through cycles to develop you. I see you, to develop you for another level in your life, because you've completed that cycle and got to where you needed to go. Now you need to get on a whole new journey. So you got to repeat another cycle for your life to go into another journey. Or you may have to repeat the same cycle because you didn't get it the first time. You know, they do it in school. If you don't get the grade, if you don't learn the lesson, if you don't pass the assignments, guess what? You repeat the grade. It's the same thing in life. Okay, that's why we have to be searching out the life lessons that we supposed to learn and then govern ourselves accordingly. Align with what we realize that we've prayed and meditated over and received inspirational guidance on, so we can go to another level. It's all about putting yourself in the position to receive, to go forward. Okay. Now, we're going back to that thing that he said when he said write the vision. Why write the vision? Because we already talked about why write the vision. But what is the importance of the vision? Okay. Proverbs, the 29th chapter, verse 18 says this: where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. First part A, where there is no vision, the people perish. You got to have a roadmap. You got to have a determination or idea where you're going. You know, I watch the comic book movies. I'm a Marvel fan. I like DC too. But the X-Men were one of my favorite group of characters. And they have a character called Nightcrawler. Okay. Okay. They made him to look like a devil, of course. But Nightcrawler was born from a union between a what they call them guys in England, a duke, and his mother was Mystique. Mystique was a shapeshifter, and she took the form of a plain woman and married this duke and had a child. But when the child came out blue, because she blue, she got rid of the child and took him to a monastery to be raised by the monks, by the priests. Okay, now the contradiction of him looking like a devil, because the image of the devil was man-made anyway, and being raised by priests, but he was highly moral. But I said all that to say this: Nightcrawler's mutant ability is to morph or to go from one place to another place. He can I forgot what they call it. He can disappear and reappear somewhere else, for lack of better words. But one thing he always points out: I have to know where I'm going, or I have to be able to see where I'm going before I can disappear from this place and reappear there. He just can't choose a random place to go, to disappear and reappear. He has to have a vision to go from one area to the next. Okay. It is the same thing in your life. You may not have a full vision for every place that you're going to go, but as you live, you begin to get inspirations to show you, hey, you need to go there and do this. Once you get that inspiration, it's time for you to find out how to line up with that inspiration to get to the end game, to where you're going. Where there is no vision, the people perish because the people don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to align themselves. They have no purpose. Okay? They can't receive the fullness of the goodness of the benefit of living because why? I have no vision. Have you ever seen those people that live aimlessly? You know what I'm saying? They don't have a care in the world. They don't care where they're going, what they do, but they always ending up in some kind of disaster, or they always experiencing some kind of lack because they have no vision. They have no direction. So they perish. If you're gonna on the road to success, you got to be able to see yourself successful, and then you got to line yourself up with that vision for your life, okay, and go through the steps to get to that end game of success. Everything don't just manifest on its own, even though some things do, but everything doesn't. That's why you have to have the vision. That's why you have to have an alignment for it and understand that the point of time is when you've completed the process. I don't care how you look at it. When a student in kindergarten, they know that getting to the 12th grade and graduating high school is the ultimate goal. So what? I see myself graduating one day high school, but they got to go through first, because they in kindergarten, they got to go through first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, and 12th grade, 11th and 12th grade to get to the stage to graduate, which means they have to align themselves by learning the information, studying, taking the test, passing the test, being good in school, being productive, a productive citizen in school, all the things that encompasses that journey for going to that stage to graduate. It's the same thing in life. When you want to graduate from one level to the next, you got to go through the process. I'm going to say it again. If you want to go from one level to the next in life, you got to go through the process. You have to align yourself with the process, whatever the requirements are for that process. But you have to have a vision for where you want to go. I ain't never seen nobody start school as a child and don't have a desire to graduate. Now you have some that do drop off. Why? Because they lost sight of the vision. So they fail their classes or they drop out. Then some will regain it, drop out, go and get the GED, but it's not the same. It's walking that stage, getting the honor of your diploma. So we have to stay, in order to get the diploma of life, the diploma of the design of our life, we have to align ourselves to do the particular work in our lives to get to the end of the vision. So, how do I align? Let's talk about it. To metaphysically align with your vision, because you have to have vision. I don't care what you say, everything in life, for everything in life, you need a vision for that. Okay. To metaphysically align with your vision, you can use practices like spiritual alignment, and that's where you visualize yourself completing the processes along your life's journey for whatever vision that you're achieving. Meditation, okay, and visualization. All three of those work together to get you mentally suitable and prepared for alignment with the journey, because you're gonna experience some hardships, some challenges, and setbacks on your road through your vision, which is why you need the vision so you can remind yourself of where you're going. But a lot of that alignment, meditation, and visualization keeps you mentally sharp. So even if you experience a setback or something happened that you didn't plan to happen, you can still go in your mind and be like, but you know what? That happened. You know, it upset me a little bit, but I'm over it. I'm still on my path to get to where I'm supposed to go in this vision. And you will find that even at that, with setbacks, that if you keep the right attitude, okay, if you align yourself with the right frequency, the frequency of faith, hope, confidence, even though you experience a setback, even though something happened that you didn't like, you will find that as you keep pushing forward, things will calibrate themselves and come around, and then another opportunity will present itself to get you right to where you're supposed to be. Plain and simple. These techniques help you to connect with your inner guidance and manifestation potential. Focus on creating a clear vision, believing in its possibility, and taking inspired action in alignment with your highest good. You can't even work for a company without designing a vision for a particular project or evolution in that company's life. And you have to sit down, or the board members or whoever, the project managers and all that, sit down and come up not only with a desired idea, but they have to put steps in place to achieve that idea. They have to get the right people on board and communicate with those people to get it achieved. It's the same thing in your life, but you do so in the spirit realm when you commune with yourself inwardly. When you fast, when you pray, when you talk to the creator of all, to when you talk to God, okay? And when you talk to your higher self. And me, my ancestors are spirit guides, so that they can give you inspiration and guidance. And then you have to look for the signs, the synchronicities, okay, to help guide you on your path. And then align with them, align with the guidance, align with the inspiration, align with the unction. Now, here's a more detailed approach to what was said, what I said earlier about alignment meditation, visualization, and connecting with your inner self. Okay? Define and clarify your vision. Clearly articulate your vision, including specific goals and desired outcomes. Okay? What you expect to see happen at the end of this goal, or within this goal, or as a result of this goal. Okay? You got to clearly articulate that. Where there is no vision, the people perish. In Proverbs, I just quoted it. So you have to have a clear vision or clear understanding of where you're going, what you expect to achieve. If it's your spiritual calling, you got to have a vision. You got to have a plan for it. If it's becoming financially successful or free, you got to have a plan for it. And you have to clearly articulate that vision to yourself, to the universe, to the creator of all, not to everybody, because everybody don't have your best interest at heart. And you have some people praying against it and all that kind of stuff. Only those that you know have your best interest at heart. But you know, I'm finding, I heard a man say that he doesn't, when he has a desire and a vision to do something, he doesn't speak it to everybody. He said he doesn't speak about it at all. He said, because when you voice it, especially if you voice it too much, you draw the power away from it being fulfilled, because you're taking energy away from the manifestation of it. Because every time you talk, you verbalize it, you're expelling energy. And then when you're telling it to the wrong people, they got to throw that negativity in there. So I'm listening to a lot of successful men say they just keep it to themselves and they just let people see it manifest. But I'm pretty sure they talk to key people that they could trust, people that has their best interests at heart. They just don't tell everybody. But you can clearly articulate your own goals by writing them down, your own vision, writing it down. Record yourself talking to yourself. And you can play it back, however you try to do that. After you clarify your vision, then you have to have belief and faith. Cultivate unwavering belief in the possibility of your vision. You got to believe in your vision and in yourself if don't nobody else do. Because you're going to experience some challenges along the way with that vision. So what, you going to just put it down because you had a little bit of a challenge? Or are you going to do like the scripture says, King David said, encourage yourself in the Lord and keep it moving? You got to cultivate an unwavering belief, regardless of what you see externally. You got to always see it happening internally. and the possibility of your vision. Trust that your desired outcome is within reach and that the universe is supporting you, because the universe reflects back to you what you are, and you are what you got going on inside of you. Mark the 11th chapter, verse 24 says this. I already quoted, but now I'm giving it to you in written form. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. You have to have a firm persuasion, a conviction based upon what you heard in your spirit to come to pass. What you articulate to yourself to come to pass. Oh, girl, I saw this red dress down at Gucci that I want to get. And I'm going to get that dress, girl. Well, I mean, when you going to get it? Oh, I'm probably going to get it in a couple months. It might take me a couple months to make that money to get that dress, but I want that dress. And guess what you got to do now? You got to devise a plan of being able to, a work plan, whether you're going to work overtime or whatever, or whether you're going to do more business, okay? Then you got to develop a plan to set that money aside, to stack that bread up to get it if you ain't already got the money. But then once you get the money and now you go and get that red dress because you believe you believe what you desire to have, and you aligned yourself, okay, with a vision of how to get it. Whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe that you receive them and you shall have them, because that belief prompts you to what? Action. And after belief and faith, visualization and meditation. Engage in regular meditation and visualization practices to strengthen your connection with your vision. They say that in the morning time, when you come right out of sleep, you still, I think it's theta. I think you're still in the theta frequency of your brain. They say to get a vision, either of the day or where you're desiring to go and what you desire to achieve. And they say, hold that vision. Not only do you visualize it, not only do you meditate on it, but you raise your frequency or your vibration by asserting the emotions, okay, of already having achieved that. Say, for example, if you're a person that desiring to buy your dream car by the end of the year, then when you visualize that you sit for 2-3 minutes and you really engross yourself in the feeling of what it feels to go down to the dealership, to pick the car you want, the color you want, to sit down and see it all unfolding for you, getting approved to get it, putting your down payment or whatever, trading your car in, whatever you're doing, and how it feels to sit in that vehicle and to drive that vehicle, and the people marveling at that vehicle, the places you going in it, and just the feeling of having your dream vehicle. And that's just an example. But they say to hold that, the emotions that come with that, it will emit a frequency to the universe of confidence that I've already had this. Because remember, the universe doesn't reveal, it doesn't show you or give back to you what you say. It gives back to you what you are, and you are what you feel. So when you have that feeling, that satisfaction, that pride or whatever, for lack of better words, of having that particular thing, that particular event, if it's nothing more than graduating college, seeing yourself walking that stage and getting your diploma, getting into your degree field, relishing in the moment, it strengthens your connection with your vision. It keeps you motivated. And it sets and orchestrates all those things events to come and people to come along to assist you on your journey to making that happen. That's why you get favor sometimes with certain situations that you didn't think you would get favor for. Why? Because that person was drawn into your life's journey on your timeline to be able to be in that appointed place and time to help you to get to where you need to go to the next step. It ain't always because I'm so righteous. Oh, God must love me. No, because you make mistakes and you may do something unrighteous on on your journey, but that don't mean it's not going to still happen for you. That's why a lot of people don't achieve success in the church and in religion, because they believe that, oh, because I messed up, I made a mistake, or I did this thing that I shouldn't have done, that the creator just going to destroy everything that you were trying to get to keep you from getting that now. Now, make that make sense. Those of us that have children, they don't do everything we like. Sometimes we got to spank them. But if we made them a promise to take them somewhere, now I do know some parents won't do that. You know what I'm saying? They won't fulfill their promise. They'll make it an excuse because you was bad. Now, if the child just that bad and they consistently bad, then I can see that. But if the child made a mistake or they did one thing that you didn't like, you might spank them for it or punish them some other way, but you're not going to take away what you promised for them. You're not going to stop trying to help them be better and to be successful in life. Then why would you believe that the creator, if you made a mistake, if you so-called sin or erred, that it's still not in order for you to achieve and be successful? But a lot of people give up because you get beat to death for sin, that you lose your motivation and you fall off the vision train. You don't believe now that it's going to happen for you, when they can be too far from the truth or further from the truth. But you engage in a regular meditation and visualization practices to strengthen your connection with your vision. Imagine your desired reality as if it already has happened, focusing on the feelings and emotions associated with its realization. 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter, verses 14 through 15. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which is given thee by prophecy. Don't neglect the gift of the vision that is in you, that is given to you from prophecy in the spirit realm, with the laying of the hands of the presbytery. Verse 15. Meditate upon these things. Meditate on what? The gift that's in you, whatever that vision is in you, whatever that desire is in you. Meditate upon these things and listen to the other part of this. He said, and give thyself wholly to them. When you give yourself wholly to something, WHOLLY, that means you that's what you do. Kobe Bryant believed that he was going to be great in basketball so much that he studied every move that Michael Jordan made. Not only did he study those moves, he aligned himself by perfecting those moves. And he became a great basketball player. He did not neglect that gift, that vision for his life. He did not neglect the gift of talent of playing basketball. He aligned himself for greatness and perfected it. His game looked exactly like Michael Jordan's game, and he was scoring just like Michael Jordan. And you got other players was like, man, we just wanted to get in Kobe's head, man, to see how he functions, how he thinks, so that we could just get a little bit of that. A little bit of that from Kobe will make me a better player. He gave himself wholly to it. He practiced. He saw himself being like Mike, and he practiced and practiced and practiced until he perfected himself. He aligned himself to be the Mamba, the Black Mamba, one of the greatest basketball players, rest his soul, of all times. To the point that he even played against his idol, Michael Jordan, and was effective. But he gave himself wholly to the meditation of becoming great in that regard, and he practiced, and he ate right, and he didn't drink, and all this stuff that he did to perfect his body. He worked out and did everything to align himself to take his place in greatness in the NBA. All the way from a little boy when he was watching his daddy play ball to being a pro himself. He said, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Give yourself wholly to your vision. Align yourself up with the steps thereof, and it's going to appear to everybody. Whether you told them or not, they're going to see it happen. Spiritually aligned action. Take actions that are guided by your intuition and highest good, rather than being driven by fear or attachment to results. Focus on the inspiration behind your vision and how it serves a larger purpose. You can't be so engulfed in your vision that when it seems to be taking a while for it to happen, that you get discouraged or you get frustrated. That's why it says don't be attached to it. You got to know you can't be attached to it to the point where you're fretting over it. You're fearful of it not happening. You got to know that it's happening and detach from that and be like, it's going to come to pass. I'm just going to do everything I need to do. It's going to happen. Okay. Prayer and guidance. Seek guidance through prayer, asking for clarity, wisdom, and alignment with your higher purpose. Trust that you are being guided by a greater force. You got to know your relationship with the divine to the point that when you get those unctions and urges and ideas and whisperings in your spirit, okay, to do a certain thing, to go a certain, or to talk to certain people, that you're in alignment, with your vision, your life's vision, your life's purpose. Self-care and mindfulness. Practice self-care to maintain a balanced energy and clear the mind. Be mindful of your thoughts and emotions and cultivate a sense of inner peace and acceptance. You cannot let your emotions run wild negatively. You know, I was listening to a lecture today, and he was like, when something adversely is happening in your life, instead of coming out of pocket, and I'm making it plain, instead of coming out of pocket, he says, sit back, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, why is this happening to me? And why is this making me react the way that I want to react? And then when you get to the root of that, then you take the power from it and you can calm yourself down and keep it moving, because your reaction to it, okay, you're reacting to something that's not that serious. But at first it's that serious in your mind because that's your ego. But when you practice self-care and mindfulness, man, I'm not finna let this get me out of pocket. I'm not finna let this frustrate me. And then you release it. You let it go. And you stay in that positive vein. Walking in inner peace and acceptance. Philippians, the 4th chapter, verse 8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. Put the negativity out of your mind. Don't give it energy. Think, ponder it, come to a consensus of why it's happening, do away with the feelings and kick it out of your brain, kick it out of your spirit, kick it out of your energy. And then think on these things, the good stuff. Go back to your vision and see yourself achieving it, accomplishing it, being it. Positive affirmations. Use positive affirmations to reinforce your belief in your vision and attract desired outcomes. We still talking about aligning with the vision. Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. What? What they gonna eat? Life and death? Whichever one is in your tongue is what's going to bring the results in your life, because it's in the power of your tongue to speak those things. Apostle Paul said that the tongue is a world of iniquity, a fire that can't be quenched. If you don't learn how to control your tongue to speak the right things, you're going to be experiencing the wrong things in your life. Matthew 12:37 says, for by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be what? Condemned. Power and life, power, death and life is in your tongue. But if you use positive affirmations to reinforce your belief in your vision, you bring yourself that much more closer to fulfillment of your vision. Continuous reflection. Number 8, continuous reflection. Regularly visit reflection, not obsession. Okay, it's a difference between the two. Regularly revisit your vision and make adjustments as needed, staying open to new insights and opportunities. Because sometimes you may have to modify or deviate. Staying focused on the end game. You know, you can be on the road to going to a particular city on vacation and experience a roadblock. So what you got to do? GPS, or back in the day when we used to draw on maps, you had to find an alternate route to get to where you're going, but you're still going to the same city for vacation. You just had to reroute yourself. It's the same thing. You're still on course for your vision, even if you experience a blockage on your path. You reroute yourself and stay open to new insights and opportunities. 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Jesus the Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates. It says to try yourself, prove yourself, whether you believe in what you supposed to be doing for your vision, whether you believe in your vision. Ask yourself, do I really believe, and what is the evidence that I believe in my vision or where I'm going or what I'm achieving? Then after you clarify that within yourself, you surrender and trust. Let go of the attachment to specific outcomes and trust that your vision will unfold in the most perfect way for you, because it may not happen the way you desire to happen, but it's going to happen. Everything might not fall in line according to your plan, but your vision will still come to pass. You may have to redirect, you may have to cut some things, but you'll still get to the end, which the fulfillment of your vision. Trust that it's going to come to pass for you, regardless of how it happens. But when you stay fixed on a particular outcome or specific outcome, when that outcome is not going the way you want, then you get angry, you get frustrated, you get fearful, okay? You lose faith because it's not happening the way you want it to happen. Instead of just believing that it's going to happen. I'm just going to roll with it. I'm going to flow with it. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not into thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall redirect thy paths. You got to just trust completely, because people believe that every aspect of their life is orchestrated and carried out by the Most High, which is not. Most of that, 90% of that is you. But you have to believe, you have to have complete trust that it's all going to work out for your good. Psalms 37:5. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust him also, and he shall bring it to pass. When you practice the art of releasing it and know that it's going to be, and trust the process and align yourself and just walk it out, when you get to the end, you'll be able to celebrate it and enjoy it. Last one. Open your third eye. Open your pineal gland. Your real eye, your spiritual eye. Some practices encourage opening the third eye to enhance intuition and spiritual awareness, which can further aid in aligning with your vision. Okay? Because you may have some dreams, some inspirations, some visions for your vision. Okay? for a particular path that you're on your vision. Psalms 32 and verse 8. I will instruct thee, talking about the creator of all. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye. What eye? That third eye that's connected to the spirit realm, that's directly aligned with your crown chakra, that opens you up to receive from the divine. When you let go and trust that you're being guided by the divine, he will instruct you, teach you the way you need to go, and guide you with his eyes through your third eye. Having a vision for your life is not enough, although you're supposed to have one. Write it down, make it plain, record it, or whatever you need to do. And then develop the steps to get you in alignment to fulfill it and achieve it. Be flexible on your journey, but trust that it all will work together for your good. That's what they say. All things work together for good to them who love God, to them that are called according to what? His purpose. So whatever your divine purpose is for your life, once you come into the knowledge of that, everything that happens, both good and bad, desirable and undesirable, they're going to come to pass. It's going to work out for your good. It may not feel good at the time, but there's a higher purpose for everything that happens. And don't forget, you had a hand in planning your life before you came to this earth. It's just about remembering and lining up with the inspiration that's given to you. This has been the existence changing experience that is the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness. And I'm Pastor Walker, and it is my pleasure to go into these subjects with you to explore information and knowledge that we may grow, enhance ourselves, and achieve a greater height in consciousness. And I pray I've said something today that was a blessing to you, that will be a catalyst of change and inspiration in your life. Let us pray. Creator of all, we give all praise and honor. We thank you for this time in the word. We thank you for the information and knowledge put out, and for whatever's received, whoever received it and takes it to heart. We thank you for the growth and manifestation of this word in the lives of those watching this video. And we humbly ask that as we depart from this Zoom, but never from your presence, we pray that you go with us and keep us till we come together again. We look forward to and we're grateful for all blessings and all things unfolding as they should, for we're properly aligned with the energy of the universe, and all things are happening spaciously for our good. We give all honor and esteem to the creator of all and all things, now, henceforth, and forevermore. And I speak this before the creator or before the Most High. Let it be so. So be it. May the creator bless you and keep you. May he cause his countenance to shine upon you, be gracious unto you. May he show you his mercy, be his peace. Peace, love, and light. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next week for more of the same.